Welcome to your glow up era. If you're following along in the Best Self Challenge, this week's theme is Glow Up Your Health. On Tuesday, I chatted with the incredible Sahara Rose. I'm sure that episode had you taking notes. I hope you loved that episode. I was fascinated by everything she had to say about Ayurveda. And I also have been loving the concept she shared about talking to your body like an inner child and just telling your body, like, it's okay if you just want to rest today. Let's do it. Like having those really intentional conversations with your body, it really is so powerful how your body will respond when you do that. In today's episode, I wanted to share some things that I'm focusing on and wellness adjustments that I'm making this year. And you know me, these are not a bunch of trends that I think will finally answer all my health issues or that I am supposed to do in order to be healthy. These are deep wellness realizations of what my body genuinely needs and what would support it the most. And hopefully will be good inspo or help for you too. Health is a lifelong journey, literally. It is not this sprint where you diet or you do a 75 hard challenge and then you're like, woohoo, I'm healthy. I've achieved it. I've done it. Like well being has no destination. It is a lifelong conversation between you and your body. So it's not like I'm adding in these glow up tips this year because I don't feel worthy or good enough or healthy as I already am. I mean, yes, full transparency, 2026 is the year that I'm getting married. And I certainly want to walk down the aisle in August feeling as energized and aligned and grounded and symptom free as I possibly can to be able to fully enjoy this super exciting time of our lives as much as possible. But these glow up tips are not trends that I want to do because I don't feel good enough as I am. It's more like intuitive shifts that I'm making out of a deeper connection with my body. And I just want to stress that as the purpose because I think with wellness, it becomes very much of like, oh my God, you have to do this and it's going to change your whole life. And really, what I think health comes down to, and the goal of being healthy is that I don't want to spend my life disconnected from my body or having symptoms that hold me back from being energized and clear and present for my entire life. Like, I want us all to use our health as a currency, as a tool to live our dreams, live our best life possible. So it's like no matter what your dream life looks like, how you want to grow into your best, happiest, fullest possible life this year, your health is the tool to get you there. That's the purpose of health. That's the reason. And I really want us all to come back to that consistently. So this is my curated, tried and true, tested, emotionally backed 2026 glow up plan, and I hope it inspires you to create your own. So, the first tip that I'm prioritizing is to eat to signal safety first. If there is one thing that I want to drill into our collective girl brain in 2026, it's that your body holds on to inflammation, bloat, tension, pain, even weight when it feels unsafe. Stress signals to your body that you are being chased by a tiger or you're in a state of famine. So you need to do everything in order to survive, not thrive. And by the way, skipping meals, over caffeinating, overly intense workouts, these are all stressors on your body too. But when we talk about the body not feeling safe, we're not just talking about stress and fight or flight. We're also talking about how the nervous system remembers. There's a deeper mechanism that scientists and trauma researchers talk about where the body literally keeps a record of past experiences and reactions in both the nervous system and the physical tissues themselves. I talked about this with Ashley Black about how the fascia literally stores memory. There's a whole book about this called The Body Keeps Score. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. Trauma, whether it's emotional or physical trauma, can get stored in the body as chronic tension, tight muscles, especially in areas like the pelvic floor for women, and, dysregulated patterns like shallow breathing or poor digestion. Your body literally holds on to past stress as a way to protect you even after the danger is gone. What I have learned after years and years and years of studying health so deeply, of working with dozens and dozens and dozens of women to achieve their health goals, what I have learned is that you can take all of the trendiest supplements and eat 30 grams of protein at every meal and walk 10,000 steps a day. But your body cannot thrive if it doesn't feel fully safe. So, for me, I'm really changing the way that I'm thinking about eating to signal safety to my body instead of signal stress. Eating regularly, having regular meals and creating calm, grounding rituals around meals isn't just about managing stress. It is slowly teaching your body you're safe now. You don't have to be on high alert. We can switch into thriving mode instead of survival. So, this tip is about how to eat to signal safety. And spoiler alert, it is not going to be done through restriction or deprivation. These are actually stressors the body holds on to. What we want to do is teach your body we're safe, we are nourished, you can relax now, you can thrive. So, what does eating to signal safety actually look like? So, regular meals, having consistent meals that your body can expect, no oops, I forgot to eat until 2 p.m. Although, who are those people? I have honestly never in my life forgotten to eat ever. I love food far too much. But whether you're intentionally not eating or you do just, your life gets crazy and you forget to eat, it's a recipe for cortisol chaos. From a physiological standpoint, I want my body to know that it's going to get food. And we do that with consistent meal times, eating at pretty much the same times every day so that our body knows to expect food, and eating soon after waking up so that your body doesn't spend a day thinking, oh, maybe a famine's coming. Protein and fiber at every meal will also signal safety to your body. And again, it's like, even if it's a small amount, I mean, I know obviously that 30 grams of protein per meal can be a helpful target if you're working on fitness goals, or especially if you're dealing with hormone issues or things like that. But even if it's a small amount of protein and fiber, even if it's some yogurt, hemp seeds, scoop of protein powder, any amount of fiber and protein will also signal safety to the body, because glucose spikes are another major stressor on the body. And they are kind of like the quickest recipe to let your body know we're not safe. There's danger. We cannot go into thrive mode. We are in survival mode because our glucose levels are so unstable. So, protein and fiber, which supports your glucose levels, it basically is telling your blood sugar we're stable. There's no need to panic. We have enough energy coming through that we're good. Warm grounding foods also signal safety to the body. So I'm prioritizing eating those more often than cold smoothies or raw salads. I'm still sipping my green juice. Okay. Don't worry. But warm grounding foods are one of the simplest ways to signal safety to your body. They're easier to digest than cold or raw foods. And again, like things that are hard to digest or more stressors on the body. They're good for your energy, your digestion, your mood. Culturally and evolutionarily, cooked warm meals have historically been associated with home, safety, nourishment. If we think about it, like as a caveman, we would have a warm meal only when we were at home base and we could like really relax. We had the time to build a fire, to cook. I don't know. What did cavemen cook? I have no idea. Whatever. But that's how our bodies have evolved, is warm meals come when we have the time and the space to be able to prepare it. Whereas cold food is more something, evolutionarily speaking, we would eat if that was our only option. If we're on the go, if we have to be on a high alert, we would snack on berries or whatever, like raw cold food here and there. So again, like don't panic too much about it. Like eat intuitively. If raw cold food feels really good, don't not eat that. But to me, it makes a lot of sense of like our bodies are wired to associate warmth with home, safety, relaxation, connection. That's very different than the fast, raw, processed, erratic eating patterns that feel more like chaos or scarcity. The body has evolved to associate warm foods with abundance, steadiness, safety, rather than restriction or scarcity. Consistent carbs are also essential for training your body to feel safe, but carbs that actually calm the system, so like root vegetables, quinoa, fruit, not the carbohydrates that are going to spike your blood sugar and make you crash, like sugar, processed white bread, things like that. But carbohydrates are essential at every meal for safety. That's what your blood sugar needs so that your blood sugar can feel safe and balanced in your body. And then it's also just as much about how you eat as what you eat. If you are scarfing down a meal while you're stressed or distracted or you're rushed, if you're trying to eat a bar real quick in between emails, your body cannot properly digest and absorb those nutrients. And it's because digestion only happens when your nervous system is in rest and digest mode rather than fight or flight. That's literally how it got its name. So, in order to get your body into rest and digest mode so that you can fully absorb the nutrients and your body is signaled safe instead of threat when you're eating, is literally as simple as taking a few deep breaths before meals. Like, even just setting the intention of, I now get to enjoy and appreciate this food, and just relaxing your body before you eat anything will do wonders for how your body processes that food. Chewing slowly, again, like if we just think about this, it makes sense. I mean, there is all the science to back it up, but to me, this just really intuitively makes sense of how our bodies have evolved. Our ancestors probably were only eating super quickly because they're like, oh my God, this is our only food we get access to for a long time. Or we got to scarf this down because we're on the watch for buffalo. I don't know. Again, things I'm making up. I don't know about cavemen's life, but to me, it makes sense. If you were slowly enjoying a meal, that would signal to your body, we have time to enjoy the meal. There's no threat present. So we get to shift into rest and digest mode to enjoy this food and absorb all the nutrients instead of being on high alert in order to keep us safe. So eating slowly, chewing your food thoroughly, this will optimize everything from nutrient absorption to blood sugar regulation. I'm really bad at this. I eat so mindlessly by default. So I'm trying to set an intention at least before anything I eat. Like, just take a second to think about how good it's going to taste, how it's going to nourish my body, like just for a second. Even if I'm watching TV while eating, I eat lunch every day at my desk while I'm working. Like, health is also about being realistic. So I know that this is not something that is easily going to change for me. I mean, I think I want to for sure work on it over time, but I love to eat dinner while I catch up on my Bravo shows here and there. I eat lunch at my desk. When I'm out to dinner with friends, I'm fully engaged in the conversation. I'm not thinking as much about what I eat. I know that about myself. And so it's just about what's the easiest way to get myself there. It's just to have an intention beforehand. That in itself, I think, does so much to help. So, doing all of these things will teach your body that it doesn't have to hold on to stress, to puffiness, to fatigue, to cravings, to bloat, whatever it is. Like, it can rest and digest and release. Glow up tip number 2 is to support your estrogen levels. Everyone is so obsessed with detox, but I think what we really need to be focusing on for more bang for our buck, if you will, is the daily exit plan for our estrogen. Whether you are someone with a cycle, whether you're on hormonal birth control in perimenopause or menopause, or you have different levels of estrogen for whatever reason, this tip is still for you because no matter what your hormonal blueprint looks like, your body has a detox system that needs daily support. And this isn't just a tip for people trying to heal their hormones or fix any like period or reproductive systems. This is a glow up tip for everyone. It's about helping your body move through life with more ease, more energy, fewer symptoms that we've been taught to normalize or just ignore. Healing your estrogen levels can be a game changer for, yeah, healing hormonal symptoms, but also inflammation or what some doctors and experts may call like soft weight, that puffiness or inflammation that feels stuck and doesn't respond to diet or exercise. Supporting your body's estrogen levels will also impact your skin, your libido, your life force, and can even help your sleep. We obviously need estrogen for so many crucial functions, but a lot of people these days have excess estrogen because modern life makes it really hard for estrogen. Beyond all of the, high stress diet and lifestyle habits that overall negatively impact the body and therefore also hormones, there's also something called environmental estrogens, which are basically chemicals that mimic estrogen. It's found in plastics, cosmetics, fragrances, cleaning products, even sometimes tap water. So your body absorbs these chemicals like estrogen, but can't process them the same way. So they build up. So excess estrogen is getting more common. But not to panic. You may just need to be a little more intentional about giving estrogen an exit plan, which again, your body is already doing it on its own. I say this every time we talk about detox. Your body is a detoxing machine on its own. So it really is just supporting it a little bit where you can, rather than feeling like we need these intense juice cleanses and getting all these supplements and whatever. Like your body is a detox machine. It is meant to detox. But with the excess estrogen exposure that we likely get, it just might mean a little extra support and love. So, what that means is making sure that you have at least a bowel movement at least once a day, period. Not sexy and fun to talk about. To my social team, definitely don't clip this for TikTok and Instagram. But estrogen is cleared through the gut. So, if you're not going to the bathroom regularly, you are likely reabsorbing old hormones that should have been gone. So, if you're doing all the right things for your digestive system to be able to have a bowel movement at least daily, you're moving your body regularly, you're hydrated, you're eating a lot of fiber and gut healthy foods, and you still struggle with having a daily bowel movement, this is me. Pelvic floor therapy has helped a lot, and this is also when I like to supplement, sometimes like a raised constipation supplement or taking magnesium at night or having my green juice, which I'll talk about later, or a warm chia pudding. These things also work like a charm, but it's just being a little bit more intentional, making sure to support your body however you can to make sure that you are able to get rid of that excess estrogen as the body is meant to. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, having these at least a few times a week, if not every day. These help your liver break down estrogen into safer forms. So, also huge. Flax seeds or chia seeds bind to excess estrogen and support gut mobility. You can add these into any meal. I eat chia and flax seeds every single day without fail. They're easy to toss into smoothies, oatmeal, yogurt. I sometimes will put ground flaxseed on pasta. It's just such an easy hack that makes a big difference. Sweating a few times a week through either movement or sauna. Your skin is one of your biggest detox organs, so also supportive in helping the body detoxify, including detoxify estrogen. And deep breathing. People don't talk about this enough, but your lungs help detox too. When you take slow, intentional breaths, you are literally helping your body clear waste and shift into a calmer, more detox friendly state so that your body can actually again go into like when I say survive versus thrive mode. Survival mode is your fight or flight is activated. Your energy in your body goes into fighting or running away. It's going into getting your heart to pump faster, your lungs to breathe deeper, your arms and legs to be able to run or fight or whatever. Like that's where your energy is going. When your body's in thriving mode, as I call it, and as a lot of health experts call it, that means that your body knows, okay, we don't need energy right now to fight a tiger or run away from a tiger. So we can put the energy that we would use for that into detoxification, into cellular turnover, into repair and restore. Like the body's doing amazing things all the time. I want to get my body into the thrive state, the rest and digest mode as much as I possibly can because it is helping your body detoxify, get rid of excess weight, hormones, regulate your body. Like it does so much. So, again, kind of going back to the stress, but deep breathing helps your body get into that thrive mode, which then helps your body detoxify. And that's good for excess estrogen. Glow up tip number 3 is body posture and alignment. My obsession with posture and alignment is becoming a facet of my personality. Honestly, I really think it is the most underrated tip for a glow up. Posture and alignment are not just about, standing up straight. It's kind of not what your mom or grandma maybe yelled at you about when you were a kid. Posture affects almost every system in your body. When your posture is off, when you're hunched over, even if it's slightly, it can lead to, chronic tension in the neck and the jaw, shoulders, hips, whatever. But these imbalances don't just cause pain and discomfort, they physically change how your body looks and functions. Poor posture can make your neck and shoulders appear bulky or inflamed. It can create a forward head position that exaggerates jaw tension, which then subtly distorts your facial structure. It can tilt your pelvis forward, which can weaken your core muscles, and it compresses your diaphragm, which leads to shallow breathing and poor oxygen flow throughout the entire body. But on the flip side, when your body is aligned and you're in proper posture, everything from your digestion to your muscle engagement works better. You reduce inflammation, you look more sculpted, you move more efficiently. Posture is not just aesthetic, okay? Even though I think it's a huge aesthetic tip, but it's also structural, it's hormonal, it's even metabolic. It is a foundational glow up tool because it improves how your body feels and performs without needing to change anything else. So, my daily posture routine looks kind of like this. I try to massage my jaw before bed. I especially like hold a lot of tension in my jaw. So try to do like a little bit of release massage, stretch my hip flexors and my hips every morning. That's where I hold a lot of tension. I do a lot of like shoulder rolls and neck circles throughout the day. And then I do some body weight posture exercises I've talked about before. And then getting my body into proper alignment as much as I remember, just sitting up straight, evening out my chin. I have awful posture. So it's just a lot of work in itself to retrain my body over time to expect this as the norm. I have like this posture corrector that's basically like straps that you put on like a backpack. I got it from Amazon. I like to wear that while I'm working throughout the day at my desk and then just focusing on back strength in my workouts to improve posture and alignment. Huge tip. I promise you, it needs more attention in your routine, whatever your health goals are, than you're likely giving it right now. Glow up tip number 4 is to master cortisol. Yes, I am back on the stress thing because there's good reason, okay? It needs this much attention. If there is one hormone that I wish more women were taught about before obsessing over diets or workouts when they're trying to lose weight or heal their body, it is cortisol. You probably know cortisol as a stress hormone where it's meant to be released in the body to keep you alert and awake. You release cortisol in the morning in order to wake you up, but also when your body needs energy to run away or fight if there's a threat present. But of course, in our lovely modern world that we're living in now, it's chronic cortisol overload. Everything is making us stressed, and we are not able to complete the stress cycle, which means that we're living in chronic stress and constantly elevated cortisol levels. And when this happens, cortisol basically becomes a full body roadblock. It causes a lot of health issues from anxiety to chronic inflammation. But what a lot of people don't know is it can also cause hormonal imbalances and cycle issues, gut issues, and fat storage. It can literally signal to your body to store fat because it doesn't feel safe. So, for a bigger deep dive on how to really change your relationship with stress and train your body not to physiologically release cortisol, even when you're dealing with a busy and chaotic life, listen to episode 217. It's called Listen to This If You Really Need to De Stress. I dive deep into this, but I wanted to include this point in my glow up plan and my tips for you because I think this is the biggest mistake that people make when trying to get healthier or hit any health goal is that they prioritize anything and everything before their cortisol, not understanding that you can eat the healthiest diet in the world and exercise every day and take the best supplements and sleep 9 hours a night. But if you are dealing with chronic stress, it overrides everything. No matter how healthy your habits look, if your nervous system is still in fight or flight, your body will resist change. A calm body burns fat, reduces inflammation, and heals way more efficiently than a stressed one ever will. It is honestly the first and most important step that you should take when working toward any health goal. So, again, go listen to episode 217 for a bigger deep dive and a ton of the mental stress tips to train your body to feel safe in your life. But some tips to get you started: don't check your phone for at least 15 to 30 minutes after waking up. Just let your body wake up before your brain gets hijacked by the group chat or your TikTok feed. Get sunlight and gentle movement first thing. This helps set your circadian rhythm and lowers cortisol naturally. Eat dinner early when you can. Your cortisol naturally is supposed to taper at night, and eating too late can throw off your rhythm. And have a consistent wind down routine, the same ish time every night. Nothing has to be too fancy, just something that your body begins to recognize as, okay, we're done for the day. We can relax. Your cortisol levels are really tied to your circadian rhythm. So anything that supports your circadian rhythm really will also support and be beneficial for your cortisol. Glow up tip number 5 is a weekly reset day. I don't know who needs to hear this, probably a lot of you, myself for sure, but your body cannot run at full speed 7 days a week. Like every single day, we think we're supposed to be working really hard in our jobs, fitting in all these things for our bodies, keeping up our relationships, and then general adulting things on top of all that. Like it is genuinely too much and it will lead you to burnout. So, as a major health tip, I'm implementing one non negotiable weekly reset day to act as a pattern interrupter. One day to break the momentum of that go, go, go and let my body shift into recovery mode on purpose. So during this rest day, I drink way more water than usual. I'll add minerals, prioritize hydration like it's medicine, basically. I will eat warm, cooked, very easy to digest meals, no raw salads, no protein bars, just real food for my body. So my body doesn't have to fight to break it down. No alcohol. You know, I love a glass of wine or a martini, but in this day, I'm giving my liver a break so that it can just do its job without playing catch up. I'm really intentional at my screen time this day. This is the one day the week where I really do not scroll at all and I will stay out of my inbox if I can. So I like to do this. Like sometimes I'll do this on Tuesdays because I'm doing full creative work. Like I'm working on my outlines and things. So I kind of can avoid my inbox. And then I'm not scrolling on my phone. If I watch a show in the evening, I really make sure it's a happy or an inspirational show, something that isn't going to cause any amount of stress or overwhelm or stimulation overload. You can just do what feels best for you. But I also like to go on a short walk without any podcast, just letting myself think. I go to bed early. Like I will start my wind down at 8 p.m., which is usually about like an hour earlier than normal. I do not do intense workouts this days. I will walk, I stretch. I think of it like I'm spending this day to not add anything else to my body to kind of get out of its way to let it repair and heal and do its thing. Because your gut, your liver, your hormones, they are always working behind the scenes. And when you never slow down, they never catch up. So this isn't about being like clean or perfect or like having a detox day. It's about getting out of your body's way so it can do what it's built to do, which is regulate, restore, and rebalance. Like you want better digestion, you want clearer skin, more energy, less anxiety. Start with a weekly reset day. Give your body a break before it forces you to. One reset day a week, and it really will add up. And then glow up tip number 6, our last glow up tip, is to optimize your health through what you drink. We are all obsessed with what I eat in a day TikToks, and obviously your meals are super crucial. But I think an intention people miss is what you drink in a day and how we can use our beverages to really make a major difference in our health. It's not just about staying hydrated, even though, of course, that's super important and super beneficial. It's that you can get in a ton of nutrients that will make your body feel amazing while, yes, staying hydrated. And a drink at your desk or while you're snuggled on your couch is such a ritual. Like having a little beverage with you at all times is just peak girlhood. So here's what I mean about getting super intentional about what you drink in a day and what you can drink to help your body feel amazing. First of all, starting the day with warm. Your digestion throughout the whole day can really benefit from starting the morning off with warmth. So, this tip is for the girls who reach for ice water first thing in the morning. I love that you're drinking your water before your coffee, but when you drink a cold drink, especially on an empty stomach, it can restrict blood flow to the digestive organs, which may slow enzyme activity and weaken digestion, especially when it's first thing in the morning when your digestive system is just beginning to wake up. Especially in people with sluggish digestion or imbalances like IBS, cold water can lead to gas, bloating, or delayed gastric emptying. It can literally make your gut work harder and lead to things like chronic constipation. According to Ayurveda, a cold drink extinguishes agni, which is your digestive fire. But then on the other hand, warm beverages, especially in the morning, but also throughout the day as well, help to stimulate digestion. It also supports liver and lymphatic function. Warm fluids help dilute toxins, move bile, support drainage, which is key, especially in the morning when your body is finishing up detox from the night before. And it's also great for signaling safety to your body. Okay, without even intending, I think this is the theme of my life, but also this episode is really training the body to feel safe. And this is, again, another way to do this. Just like I talked about before with warm foods, it's also for warm drinks too. Drinking a warm beverage helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest mode, setting a ton of like the grounded energy, which is especially good in the morning when we kind of can get into the morning panic. So, first thing in the morning, if you can, get in some warm lemon water, even some caffeine free tea. I love a peppermint, ginger tea, or red raspberry leaf first thing in the morning. You can also sip on warm bone broth for additional glow up benefits. It's great for gut health and your skin, hair, nails. There's so many good beauty benefits for sipping on some bone broth. And then in the mid morning, my goal is to be a lot more consistent with my green juice because it does make me feel amazing. It actually makes such a huge difference. If you don't have the recipe yet, I've shared it on episodes before, but it is spinach, pineapple, cucumber, half a lemon with peel, seeds, everything, cilantro, mint, and a little ginger root. And then I will like half fill it up with coconut water and half with regular water. Every ingredient is so water rich. I really don't juice it. I just blend it so that I can retain the fiber and all the phytonutrients. I swear it is my secret weapon. I will knock out any time I start feeling a cold coming on. My digestion feels amazing. It makes my skin glow. Like I swear by this juice and I have it right before breakfast. Usually it's not my breakfast. It's not supposed to be like a smoothie meal replacement because there's not enough protein, but it is a game changer. I have it at room temperature for me and my body that is more prone to like weaker digestion anyway. I try to stay away from like cold. Even when I do smoothies, which I love sometimes as an afternoon snack, sometimes after a workout, I love a smoothie. A smoothie is a great tip to just add in some extra protein and nutrients, but I will make it room temp, not using frozen stuff. Again, don't panic about it, but just something that I know makes me feel better. Anyway, back to my daily drinks. I'm trying to go in chronological order. I love a matcha latte. It has become my favorite ritual every day. I love Chroma's Beauty Matcha because it adds in some other nutrients like ginger and collagen. It's got a little kick to it. Or I will drink a brand called Calf Off, which is a decaf matcha. I'll drink this before and during my period because I really try to avoid any caffeine then. It just makes a difference in my cramps. I will froth either a coconut milk or hazelnut milk, add some honey. It's just the best. It's so good. And matcha is one of the greatest superfoods. It's packed with antioxidants, especially EGCG, that support skin clarity, metabolism, cellular repair, so many good things while gently supporting detox pathways and calming inflammation. But if you love your coffee, go off. Just don't drink it on an empty stomach. You know, have it with or after breakfast. And then throughout the day, sipping on whatever tea is best for your health goals. You know, dandelion tea is great for liver support, peppermint is for digestion, nettle tea provides some minerals. Tea is truly so medicinal, and our bodies are craving warmth, especially this time of year anyway. So it's just kind of like the best mindless habit to get into to just sip on tea throughout the day. And then having another warm drink before bed that will not only be soothing and comforting, and it can also help replace the habit if you're a big snacker before bed kind of girl, but will also help you sleep better. Reishi hot chocolate or warm coconut milk with some cinnamon and some magnesium powder are some of my favorite options. They feel and taste like dessert, but really do help you sleep so deeply, or just even like a chamomile tea or something before bed. A warm drink at night is especially good because it not only helps with digestion after dinner and signals to your nervous system to relax, all things we obviously want at night, but any warm drink at all, just the temperature of the drink itself helps you to sleep. Obviously, coffee or something with caffeine will not be beneficial, duh. But drinking anything warm helps lower your core temperature and signals to the brain that it's time to rest. Like, I just know I am going to have so much better sleep at night if I shower, take a bath, or have a warm drink before bed. Like, getting your body warm in these ways, it sounds counterintuitive, but it basically lowers your core temperature, which mimics your body's natural circadian rhythm, where the core temperature is supposed to dip as melatonin rises, which will make it easier to fall and stay asleep. So, those are my 6 glow up tips that I am prioritizing this year that I think will make a major difference for you if you want to prioritize them also. I think of these tips not as like these rigid non negotiables or rules, but more as strategies for support, a way to show up for my body in what will for sure, I already know, be a chaotic year, but also will be a year that means a lot to me that I want to feel my best for without chasing perfection or burning myself out trying to fix myself. This glow up is just about creating the conditions where I feel my best, strong, steady, calm, energized. Maybe your 2026 glow up looks totally different from mine. Maybe it's a lot more internal. Maybe it's external. Maybe it's starting a lot smaller. That's kind of the point. This episode isn't supposed to be a checklist. It's a reminder that your body just wants to feel safe, supported, and regulated. And when it gets that, again, it thrives. If this episode resonated with you or helped you at all, please let me know in the Apple reviews or Spotify comments. I only know what to give you more of based on the feedback I get from you guys. So please let me know. Share this episode with a friend or on Instagram. I want to see what glow up tips you're trying. So share, tag us on Instagram at the Every Girl Podcast. And I will see you on Tuesday for an episode that the wellness girls, especially, will be really excited about. It is a conversation with the one and only Kendall Toole that will truly transform how you think of your goals and your health and will help you optimize your fitness. I will talk to you then. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know I sure did. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really makes a huge difference for our show so we can keep growing and bringing the content that you love. If you want more info, you can find us at the Every Girl Podcast on Instagram or at theeverygirlpodcast.com. Talk to you next week.